This is going to be a practice on metric conversions using dimensional analysis. So one thing you're going to need is you need this, and you are supposed to have this memorized, but for now I'm going to use this with each of our problems. Just so you know, though, you should be able to write this from memory. So first question is, if I have 36.52 milligrams, how many grams is that equal to? My first question is one of these a base unit? Yes, grams is a base unit, so that would be here. So now I want to figure out, what is my conversion factor? So what is the conversion factor between milligrams and grams? So you see how we have milli? That is 1,000. So that means our ratio is going to be 1 to 1,000. One of these is a 1 and the other one is 1,000. The larger unit is always a 1. Since the base unit is larger than milli, this is a 1. This is going to be 1,000. So now that we have our conversion factor, we can go ahead and set up our dimensional analysis. To do dimensional analysis, you always start by taking this given value and placing it over 1. Or if you want to do the box, you're going to put 36.52 milligrams and then draw your line. And then we need the milligrams to cancel, so that means milligrams has to go to the bottom of the next step, because this is going to set it to be milligrams divided by milligrams, and that'll allow it to cancel. So now we need to use a conversion factor, and we came up with our conversion factor here. The milligrams is at the bottom. You have to put 1,000 next to milligrams. So 1,000, and then on top we're going to put what it equals. It equals 1 gram. Since gram is what I want my final answer to be, I can stop here. Notice that milligrams are canceling, and we can calculate our final answer. All right, you can use your phone to calculate this. So you want to type in that first number, 36.52, and then you see anything at the top you multiply by, so it would be times 1, which doesn't change anything. You don't have to put it, but you can. And then because this is at the bottom, you're going to hit divided by 1,000. And then when we hit equals, it gives us 0.03652. So our final answer is 0.03652 grams. Make sure you put your final unit. Number 2, 14.72 kilograms is equal to how many milligrams? First question, is one of these a base unit? The answer is no. There's no base unit. Kilograms is not at the base, nor is milligram. So we're going to have two conversion factors. You always want to go through the base. So my first conversion factor is going to be kilograms is equal to how many of its base unit, grams. And then I also need to know from grams how many of milligrams are there. So we're going to use our little chart here, and let's start with kilogram. There's 1,000 at kilogram, so that means that this is going to be 1 to 1,000. Which one gets the 1? Which one gets the 1,000? Kilogram is bigger, it's going to be 1. Grams is smaller, it's going to be 1,000. Now I'm going to go look at milligram. Here's milli, it's 1,000, so this is 1 to 1,000. The base is bigger, so it gets the 1. Milli is going to get the 1,000. So now that we know our conversion factors, we can start our dimensional analysis. This one's going to be 2 steps because we have 2 different conversion factors to use. I'm going to start with my 14.72 kilograms. Put it over, I'm going to put mine over 1 this time, times, draw a line. And then I need kilograms to cancel, so I'm going to place kilograms at the bottom here. And now I'm going to use a conversion factor. We're going to use this one. 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams. 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams. Kilograms cancel. I am now at grams. We're going to keep going because we want our final answer to be milligrams, not grams. So we have to convert one step further. I want grams to cancel, so grams has to come to the bottom of the next step. And now I'm going to use this conversion factor. 1 gram equals 1,000 milligrams. 1 gram equals 1,000 milligrams. Notice that the grams are canceling, and I have milligrams left, which is what I want my final answer to be. So that's how I know I stop here. Now we can use the calculator on our phone. You're going to type in your first number, 14.72. You're going to multiply by the top, divide by the bottom, multiply by the top, divide by the bottom. So this is going to be times 1,000, divided by 1, even though you do not have to type that in, times 1,000, divided by 1, even though you don't have to type that in, because multiplying and dividing by 1 doesn't really change anything. But for some people, multiply by the top, divide by the bottom, multiply by the top, divide by the bottom just works better. So I'm going to put equals, and we get 14,720,000 milligrams. Now number 3, 0.0035 meters is equal to how many decimeters? Is one of these a base unit? Yes, meters is a base unit. So I'm going to write myself a conversion factor from meters to decimeters. Okay, so here's our chart. If I go to deci is 10. So one of these is a 1 and one of them is a 10. Who's bigger? The base unit is bigger than deci. So the base unit is 1 and deci is going to be 10. Now that I have my conversion factor, I can set up my dimensional analysis. So I'm going to take my given 0.0035 meters, 0.0035 meters, and then I want meters to cancel, so I'm going to bring it down to the bottom over here. And then I'm going to use my conversion factor. I'm going to put 1 meter, and then I'm going to put 10 decimeters on top. 1 meter, 10 decimeters. Notice that meters cancel. I'm left with decimeter, which is what I want my final answer to be. So I know that I'm finished at this spot right here. So I can write equals, and now we can punch it into our calculator on our phone, 0.0035, multiply times the top times 10, divide by the bottom by 1, equals, you get 0.035 decimeters. Be sure to put the unit on your final answer. 0.134 meters is equal to how many kilometers? Is one of these a base unit? Yes, meters right here is a base unit. So how many meters is equal to kilometers? And when we use our little chart, we go to kilo and it's 1,000. So one of these is a 1 and one of them is 1,000. Who's bigger? Kilo is bigger than the base. So we're going to put the 1 next to kilo and the 1,000 next to the base. Now I can set up my dimensional analysis. We're going to take the 0.134 meters, place it over 1, times, draw a line. I want meters to cancel, so I'm going to put it at the bottom of this step. And then I can use this conversion factor. 1,000 meters equals 1 kilometer. 1,000 meters equals 1 kilometer. And because I want kilometers my final answer, then that means I can stop here. I'm going to write equals, use my phone, and type in that first number, 0.134, multiply by the top times 1, divide by the bottom, divided by 1,000, equals, and we get 0.000134 kilometers. So remember that I hit times 1 for the top. Technically, you don't have to do that. You can just hit 0.134 divided by 1,000 to get your answer. But if it's easier, always multiply by the top, always divide by the bottom of each step. You can't go wrong.